welcome to another episode of the Pierce Brothers. I'm Porter, and today I'm trying out a new scope. So I haven't even put a round down the chamber with this particular scope yet, but it's the SIG. Let's see, let's put it right here so you can see it good. It's the SIG Tango SPR with a BDC reticle. It's a 6, I believe, 6 to 24 power scope. Bought it brand new for $250, I think it was, and it came with this particular mount too. It's already all mounted up, ready to go. So I said that I was looking at that, and I thought, well, what the hell? It's good. It's a good deal. So, anyways, I know, it's a SIG. Anyways, so yeah, got that scope on it. And then I also have a primary arms 3-power scope, so I can swap back and forth. In theory, we're going to test it out, see how well it swaps one scope to the other and back and forth and holds 0. It should hold 0, but we'll find out. Anyways, but yeah, we're just showing I guess an AR build, so to speak. This scope I'll use more for like varminting, shooting ground squirrels, coyotes, stuff like that. And then that scope is the one I'll keep on it for the most part when I'm, have it next to my bedpost at home. So more of like a home defense style scope instead of a varminting scope. But it's nice to have one gun be more versatile and have, just more ability to use it in different regards than just one particular skill set. Today we're going to be shooting factory loads. They're Hornady. Let's see here. They are the Frontier loads, 55 grain full metal jacket with a canneler. I've always had pretty good luck with that particular load. It shoots fairly decent, especially as just a bulk, just run-of-the-mill load. It shoots really good. So let's start out. We're going to shoot with this scope, and then we'll swap scopes, shoot, and then swap scopes again and make sure that it holds 0, if that makes sense. So anyways, we'll start there and go try it on paper target 100 yards. All right, so we're gonna start. Gotta kind of get it sighted in, get it hitting right where I want it, and then we will swap scopes back and forth, make sure that they're holding 0. It's always good to test your equipment before you rely on something to be true that you don't know is true. So let's just start out with and also, whoops, wrong direction. Let me get some hearing protection. That's a good starting point. All right, here we go. First round's out of this scope. All right. Let's see here. I need to move it. Two inches left and about 3 inches down. And left. All right, let's just try that. Let me reload. A couple more rounds in there. Don't want to be shooting with the 30-round mag. It'll be bottoming them out on the ground there, so. All right. Okay, well, let's go back up. Well, that should do it about right there. I'll shoot 3 rounds. Pretty much have me zeroed right where I want it. All right, shooting about 1 inch, so not terrible, not great, but 100 yards with a, and I don't know if I mentioned it, but it's a Bear Creek Arsenal upper. They're not, I mean, a lot of people know them as accurate, then other people say they're not. I look at it and say, well, 1 inch AR at 100 yards, I'd say that's a pretty good group, and for entry-level AR like this is. But so I'm hitting right on where I want it to be. I'm about, I don't know, about a ½ inch high. It's really nice having a 24 power scope. Anyway, so I'm hitting about a ½ inch high, which is kind of where I like it to be. So I'm going to swap scopes back to that ACOG, that 3 power primary arms, shoot it. I guess I shouldn't call it an ACOG, but that 3 power, kind of a prism sight, I guess is what you'd call it. Shoot it, and then I'll swap back to the scope, make sure that it's holding 0. So, anyways, let me just swap scopes really quick. All right, so what I always do is I always make a note for my particular gun, 2 full notches. It'll be halfway on the back notch, so I just focus on that. Make sure the scope is always bottomed out and pushed as far forward on the rail as possible when you go to tighten the screws. On my other scope, I'm set right up here at the top, at the front of the action area. So you're always trying to duplicate as much how the scope is on versus off, back and forth. You want to duplicate that and minimize any variance in, you know, the machining and cuts of everything. So all right, here we go. All right, so it's hitting pretty good. All right, so I did have this scope sighted in for 50, so I'm hitting a little bit high and left, but that's not a big deal. I can fine tune it. But let's go ahead and switch back to this scope at the same torque spec and everything else and show that it can hold 0. Taking it off versus on, back and forth. So, all right, so we rebounded it after shooting it with the other scope. Let's see if it held 0. You never know. All right, here we go. I guess I'll just shoot right there. Okay. yeah, we're good to go. No noticeable change on 2 3-shot groups after taking the scope off, shooting something else, and putting it back on. Well, let's go up there and I can talk about it up there. So, okay, well, let's talk about these groups for a second. So, shooting with this is where I finalized having it, these 3 shots right here. I was aiming here, obviously, at the center of the orange.
The shots below are all from sight.
Yeah, this was all sight and in shots, so don't mind those. But so basically, I guess that round pretty much would be considered the center of the group between all 3 shots. You know, you kind of go with what the center is, and that pretty much, you know, I'm hitting about 1/2 inch high, kind of where I want to be. Then I switched scopes, and then when I put it back on, I was aiming here at this upside down 7. I was kind of aiming at the center of that, and I shot that group, which, you know, was kind of a little different. It should have strung more like how the original one did, but anyways, don't know exactly what happened there. But a little more on and off, checking, making sure everything holds 0. But the center of that group would be about, I'd consider about right here, almost at the 8, about the center of that group. So if you look at it, was there much of a shift of impact taking the scope off and then putting it back on? No, I wouldn't say it's much. It's very hard to really notice it. So I'm going to continue to shoot it between the prism sight and this this particular varminter type scope, back and forth, and, you know, throughout the rest of the winter on coyotes and stuff, just see how well it does. Obviously, the reason for this is, particular deal is I wanted to show this new scope, and then also just a reminder for everyone out there: test your equipment, know your equipment inside and out, understand little changes can make a big difference, and little changes can sometimes not make a big difference. So just know your particular gun, your particular scope, your setup, and know it and understand it and shoot it and use it. And because, you know, it helps make you a better shot when you do little tiny things. I mean, what did I shoot here? 20 rounds, and that's not very much. And so it's easy to sit down and do a little bit here and there, and, you know, memorize the data, so to speak, and write down data as you go as well. So anyways, well, thanks for watching this episode of the Pierce Brothers, and we'll see you guys next time.